Hi everyone! So here we have a set of nails I did, like 2 hours ago, and I love them so much, you have to see them immediately. So I've prepped my client's nails, we've filed down to thin clear base. She's got a lot of repairs because she's been having fights with mouse traps and cars and oh god knows what else. There's no telling this woman. So I've done all my usual prep of the natural nail, dehydrated, prime the nails, and I'm coming in with a bead of CJP Amor, and to this I have added some of the Glitter Fairies Pixie dust in Willow, so there's like a little gold shimmer to it. And I've got a decent sized bead. I've taken the liquid out of the back of the bead and then I've placed it on the nail where I want my smile line centre to be. And then I'm just using the tip of my brush to kind of shape that nice crisp smile line and also blend that bead back so that when I add a second bead you don't get like that shadow line or that ridge. And then I'm coming in with a second bead, slightly smaller bead. I've taken a little bit of the liquid out of the back but not too much. And then just blending those two beads together. And then I'm coming in with a bit of crystal glass. I had to pause the video for a minute because I hadn't got my crystal glass out. And you'd be surprised how often I start a set of nails and then I'm like, where is my clear? So I'm now going to come in with a bead of clear acrylic from the cuticle area and blending down. And this is where I'm going to build that structure. So I'm going to make sure I get my apex in and then blend that forward. I always cap in like negligee or crystal glass, like a transparent colour, just because I think if you do like all of the like nail bed area in cover pink, it can just look a bit like really fake. I mean, we all know they're fake nails, but just a bit much. And then I'm coming in with a thin clear base on that pinky finger, just putting it to the side so you see how very thin it is. And then I'm doing a full glitter nail on the pinky, so a blinky, and I'm using this new glitter, which I think it's actually one of the most beautiful glitters I've ever created. I love it so much. This is from this Stacie Richrdson Collection, and this is called Dark Unicorn. Stacie sent me some lovely pictures for inspiration for her collection, and this one was so easy. It came together so beautifully and I'm just so in love with it. All of Stacie Richrdson's glitters sold out within about 30 minutes, so I've now put them all available for order again until Friday, and they're all available on back order, so everyone can just place an order, and then on Friday I'll remix and send out this limited edition glitter because it's so popular and it's so pretty. There's a lot going on with it. It's another one of those which has got chunky shards, lots of different shapes and textures in there, so make sure you work with nice small beads of crystal glass, picking up little bits of acrylic using a little bead of acrylic to pick up little bits of glitter at a time. Place it on the nail and then I got halfway through saying nail and I was like, I wanted to start saying nudge, and that wasn't right. And then just nudge that kind of like round the nail and then add more glitter, so build up so you keep that nice and thin. And then as you can see, I can then cap it with crystal glass, and that's when I create that strength and structure on that nail there. And that is the trick to chunky glitters and glitters with a lot of texture. Just work really, really thin. And a lot of people, when they come to my classes and they train with me, when they see how thin I work, they're just, that's when they're like, oh my god, you work that thin. So just less is definitely more. Because I think when I finished a full nail of like chunky glitter, it's not even a millimetre off the nail. It's that thin, so that it doesn't affect like adding your structure or anything. And then with this nail, I'm coming in with Snow White, starting kind of along that like the free edge smile line area, blending up and then just tapping down to make sure it's covered all the way to the tip. And then I'm going to come in with that Amor with that Willow Pixie dust from the cuticle area and blend down, so I've got a nice ombre there. So I'm just patting, kind of pat, tap, pull it down, and then when I get to the area I want to blend, I then blend it into that white. And I must say, I think Amor, it is impossible to get a bad ombre with Amor. I love it so much, and it's a pinky colour, which I'm not really a pinky person, but it's so, I love it. It's a really nice product to work with. And then I'm going to cap that entire nail in crystal glass, as always, because don't forget, when you've created that beautiful ombre fade, you don't want to file into it, so you want to make sure that you then cap it and add the structure with your clear. Tried that little finger. No, not even close to being ready to pinch. And then with this now, I'm going to come in with that Amor at the base. Again, that Amor with that lovely pixie dust and willow in it. Place it on that free edge and then blend it up. I do love the Glitter Fairies pixie dusts, especially coming. Yeah, I know some of you are going to hate me saying it, but we are coming into Christmas and the party season, and the pixie dust stack is pretty much an essential for this time of year because it's just a nice simple shimmer. You put it over, like there's 4 different colours, and every time you put it over any different colour, it just adds a nice little dimension to it. And everyone wants, even if they don't want full glitter this time of year, they're starting to want these shimmers. And then I'm coming in with, again, a little bead of crystal glass, popping it into the glitter and at the cuticle and blending down. So I want that nice kind of like glitter waterfall kind of look. And then I'm going to cap that now in crystal glass. I was about to put it on the nail, and then I thought, no, this bead's a little too wet, so I just took a tiny bit of liquid out the back of the bead. Yeah, somebody asked the other day whether, especially working with CJP, whether you have to bleed the bead with every pickup. I don't. Normally I just go straight on the nail, but you just learn to get a feel for your beads and know whether you need to like bleed a bit of the liquid out or not. That pinky just does not want to set. And I'm just going to come in with my 100 grit file, and this is a file where I haven't stripped the edges, so always make sure you reserve it just for doing your smile lines and are super careful on your client. And I'm just going to come in and I just want to create that nice crisp smile line. I want to get right up into the wings, right up into the corners to make sure it's a really crisp shape. And then I'm going to dust off. And as I dusted off there, as you can see, the clear base cracked a little away from the centre of the tip. Now, I could have taken it off and sculpted, that is true, but I got to this point and I was like, as soon as I put this acrylic on, it's going to fuse it back together. So I wasn't too worried about that. If it had all broken off, I'd have filed down and sculpted, but it hadn't. It had just like snapped a little bit in the middle. And then I've come in with a bead of the Snow White. So one of the things to remember when you're doing a tip, like a white tip or a coloured tip, is that you want to get that one bead done in, well, one bead. You want that tip done all in one bead. Because if you add beads onto it, you can sometimes get like a marbling. So you want to make sure you always get that all in one go. So I've filed them all in. I haven't shown the filing because I do have a specific filing video, and also you guys want real-time videos, which is cool, and I'm happy to do them, but I just have to cut a bit of time off somewhere because otherwise I will spend my entire life filming and doing voiceovers. And at the moment it's, you know, coming up to 9 o'clock. I'm missing Bake Off. I'm very sad about that. And I haven't had dinner yet, so we have to cut a bit of time somewhere. So I've filed it all into shape, and I swear to God, I don't do smile lines very often, but I could not stop staring at this one because I think it is possibly one of the best ones I've ever done in my life. And then I'm using a bit of the CJP gripper glue, tiny little beads, and then I'm using my wax crayon to pick up some of the Crystal IV crystals from the Glitter Fairy crystal wheel. And then I'm placing them on, I always refer to these as a little nail tiara around the cuticle line. And I'm starting with, so the last one's a 5, 7, 9. I think it was an SS10, possibly. And then going to smaller sizes, so start with a big one in the middle and then use smaller sizes. And then I'm going to top these, and I'm not using my CJP today. I'm actually using something that my American followers can get. It's from Glam and Glitz. It's the Chiara Sky LED Top Gloss, or just tack-free top gloss. I can't remember the name. Basically, I bought some Glam and Glitz acrylics the other day, and whenever I buy acrylics, if there's a gel polish there, I always buy a black gel polish and a top coat to dry. I always do, because I think you can tell a lot about a gel polish brand by their top coat and their black gel polish, because I want a black gel polish that gives me full coverage in 2 coats, and I want a good top coat, and I like this top coat. I'm just coming up to those crystals, just butting up against them but not going over them, because I don't want to dull that beautiful shine. Yeah, I do really like this top coat. It's much thicker than I'm used to, and when it cures, it right, how do I explain it? How did someone explain it the other day? It's a slight rubber texture to it. So like normally when I like run my fingers down my nails, they like slide like super like slippy slide, but this one, for the first day or so, it was a bit rubbery, I guess. But I will say, it came out the lamp, I put my oil on, it cures in 60 seconds, and when you put your oil on, it doesn't dull it or anything. That rubbery shine doesn't dull it, it feels a bit different to what I'm used to. But now, like 3 or 4 days into my nails, it hasn't got that at all. And I do really like it. It's a lovely high shine top gloss. So that's a good one for the American gals and guys following me. That's one that you can use. Okay, so on the ombre now, I'm going to come in with some CJP Snow White. And I'm just creating a little 3D rose here. I'm trying to make myself do a little bit more nail art and add a little bit more to my nails at the moment. I feel like I'm in a real nail rut. And I did have someone comment on a video the other day, and if you're watching now, thank you for commenting in a very polite manner, because some people would have said that and have said that in not such a pleasant way. Yeah, just said my nails are cute, have you thought of mixing up, because a lot of them look the same but with different colours, and I was like, you know what, you're right, they do. And it's a bit of a 50-50 thing, because part of it's like you kind of develop a bit of a style. And so when people come to me, they expect glitter, fades, ombres, things like that. And I'm very lucky, because all of my clients, pretty much like this lady, normally I'll show her some glitters and go, do you like this? Should we do that? Today I just literally just did her nails, and then at the end I was like, so do you like them? So I'm trying to mix it up a bit more, remind myself, I've done so much training over the years, and I've got 4 courses coming up with training for new nail art, and a couple of one-to-ones to just kind of like hone my skills a bit. So I need to start kind of kicking it up a notch and making sure I actually then develop my skills and try and advance them and stuff. So thank you for that person who made that comment, because it did help give me a bit of a kick up the butt to go, come on, do something different. You've got all these people following you, you might as well give them something different to watch now and again. So, when creating my 3D rose, went off on a bit of a ramble there. You guys are getting used to that now. Can you also tell I'm getting a little more comfortable on YouTube, so letting my personality come out a bit more. I used to do my very BBC English voice, but now I'm relaxing. So when you're doing your 3D flowers, you need to make sure that you pick up very small beads, drain a little bit of the liquid out of the back, and place a bead on at a time, and then when it starts kind of going matte, then you can start moulding it. So the way to check that is to kind of like try and mould it with your brush, take your brush away, and if it stays in shape, you're good to go. But if it starts like bouncing back to the bead shape that it was, just give it a few more seconds. Always keep my brush at about a 45-degree angle, keeping the centre of the brush like quite flat, and then like, yeah, so angling the brush up so that the centre of the flower stays nice and flat, and then you get that shape with the petals. I actually have two. I have a one-to-one with someone who I'm not allowed to say soon for some 3D work, and also I'm doing a group course with Hazel Dixon soon for 3D work, so I really need to work on that because I feel it's an area that I do really enjoy and I should push myself a bit further with, and I find myself doing the same 2 or 3 flowers every time. So hopefully in the next few months you will see a bit of a change in my 3D. Fingers crossed. So sometimes I put a couple of beads on at a time, so I've put that centre bead on, and then I've just popped the second petal in, not petal, leaf in, ready to go. You know, if you're working quick enough, then that's fine. But I do find sometimes, like this one was just on the cusp, when I went to then work that second bead, I'd spent way too long creating my nice spiral. So about now I should be working on that leaf, because you can see it's got that lovely matte colour, but I just carried on working on the centre of my rose because I was having so much fun creating a spiral. And then when I got to it at the side, I was having to be very forceful. Oh, look at me going out of shot, useless child. But I had to be quite forceful with that acrylic. But at that point I could have quite easily swiped it off the nail and started again as well, so that's not too much to worry about. That's the plus point of top coating first, so there's a shiny surface that the acrylic will stick to and won't move for 2 to 3 weeks in between maintenance. That also means if you want to take a bit off, it's quite easy to swipe it off. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry if I went on a bit of a ramble there at any point. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I friggin' love these nails. The holographic shine in this glitter is just, oh, I love them, and I really love these nails. They're really nice, kind of a classic, quite feminine set. So here we go. Here's a little video because I couldn't get a picture that did them justice, so I did a little video. And yes, I am aware, on that ring finger on the hand on top, after doing the videos and pictures, like as she was out the door, I then realised that there was like a little bit of a frill from the tip, and I did file that off, so apologies that you can see that there. But there you go, guys. I'm just like, just look at that holographic, look at it. Oh, they're like little rainbows in the nails. And here we have a still. We can really see the frills on that ring finger. God damn it. Here's another one. And here we have a picture of the glitter, because this is another amazing thing about this glitter. That this is the glitter in daylight. And then check out the glitter. Oh my god, it glows in the dark. Ready for Halloween. So thank you for tuning in, guys. Questions, comments, requests, just pop them below. Bye.